Hi, it's Timo. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Just another normal 24 hours as a Norwich City supporter. Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're all doing well. If you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. Almost at 3,500 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm so chuffed with the community we're building here. So yes, with that in mind, I normally like to talk about football in regards to Norwich, and as I think any fan does. I don't think fans particularly care too much about the business side. You don't follow a football club about the business, but I think when we've had news today, you have to talk about the business side. And I'm sure there might be some fans or some non-Norwich City fans watching this and thinking this title relates to the sale of Emi Buendia. And I've done a video on that, and yeah, the Emi Buendia deal is an interesting one. Are Norwich City showing a lack of ambition, or is it important for the club going forward? That's a real discussion point. But this goes beyond that in this video, and we're going to be talking about Norwich City's new sponsors and the kind of uproar, the backlash, the national backlash as well, which is connected to it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section about this one, because this is a really interesting debate, and I don't normally do these types of videos where I comment on the business side of the club. We know just how good Stuart Webber has been in the 4 years at Norwich City, in particular with the long-term goal of the club in terms of focusing on the route. And we're so much healthier club financially because of Stuart Webber. But on the business side today, from Ben Turner and Ming Kenzel, it's been an absolute nightmare. And let's talk about Norwich City's new sponsors. So Norwich City ended their sponsorship with Dafabet after a couple of years, I think. And they've got new sponsors, BK8. Yep, that's not Burger King. That is a sponsor, an Asian betting sponsor, BK8. Now, betting sponsorship's a really interesting debate because people have mixed views on a betting company being a sponsor. I think some people are okay with it. I think we know nowadays a lot of Premier League clubs and a lot of clubs worldwide use betting sponsors as their main sponsorship. Why is that? Simply because betting sponsorships, they show the money, and they have some really nice lucrative deals. Norwich City, with their new betting sponsor, BK8, that's a record sponsor for them. That's the most amount of money they've ever got for a sponsorship. And sometimes if you want to compete in the Premier League, you have to sign those big deals. So I get that. And in terms of my personal view, I'm okay with a betting sponsor being partnered with Norwich, as long as Norwich show the resources and the support. I think it's okay. But this goes beyond that. BK8, a lot of fans were a bit confused by the deal. And it very much surfaced very quickly online that BK8, I'm not going to put any images up because it's quite embarrassing really, but BK8's whole marketing strategy is kind of around sexualizing women all over their accounts, all over YouTube. So much of their content is all around gambling and women being topless, and that being their betting strategy. And for Norwich City to be partnered with this kind of company is just baffling. It's something you might see on episode 1 of The Apprentice. I cannot believe this, and I think it is absolute shameful and embarrassing. And I'm not really someone who likes to concentrate on the business side, but when you have a topic this important, I think you've got to. And I think it is absolutely embarrassing. And you sometimes see a lot of journalists who are quite don't like to comment on the situation and be neutral and partial. But I've seen lots of mainstream journalists comment on this, and I feel like it's the job to comment on this, to stop this, because what Norwich City have done today, that they've sold their soul, and it's absolutely disgusting. I'm okay with Norwich City having a betting sponsor, and to be their number one sponsor. But to do this just for an extra couple of million, I think is absolutely disgusting. And it raises some really, really serious questions, particularly when you consider the movement of the Her game too. It's just absolutely embarrassing for Norwich, and I don't know what on earth's happened. How has this been approved? But quite rightly, there's been a backlash, not just from female supporters, but pretty much the whole Norwich City fan base, which is really nice to see. Yeah, it's a really, really weird one. And in terms of Norwich, what's happened today, they put a statement a few hours after the release around midday. And essentially the long story short was that they said BK8, the content we're seeing is a third party, and essentially that they've removed some of the content, or Norwich have asked BK8 to remove some of the content, and they have. But there's still lots of content out there, and that as a statement, that as a sentence, is absolutely ridiculous. Because firstly, how did Norwich City not know about this sponsor? I mean, Norwich City fans, we've signed a deal with BK8. We're naturally going to have a look online, and Norwich want that. Norwich want, obviously, fans to bet with BK8. So naturally, Norwich City fans are going to look. And when the first thing you type is just lots of sexualized content of women, just really, really disgusting and weird stuff. What are Norwich thinking? And why did Norwich approve that? And if they didn't know about that, how can you go into a multi-million deal with an apparently reputable company like that without having basic checks? This is I don't know, 11-year-old business studies. How can you not have basic checks? I think what Norwich have done, they've just seen the money, they've seen BK are going to offer them a lot of money, and they've accepted it, and they've sold their soul. And this is meant to be a family club. This is meant to be a community club, and to do that is beyond a joke. And I know some people might not care. Betting sponsors are kind of all over football, but when it's something as bad as this, it is absolutely disgusting, and really, really bad how Norwich didn't pick up on this. And I'm fuming. I think this is, from a business side, the worst thing Norwich City have ever done in terms of a sponsorship deal or a business deal. I think the negligence and just the lack of respect is absolutely shocking. And a couple of hours ago, there was another statement which came out, and BK8, it was BK8 actually who came out with the statement, and what they essentially said is they apologise for their marketing strategy, and they've deleted all their content which sexualizes women. Yet again, I think one channel was deleted from BK8, but the majority of their content is still sexualized. I mean, if you go onto their website now, that is still the case. So that statement is a load of crap, really. But to be honest, BK8 don't need to be putting that statement out. It's not their duty. If they want to do that content, that's fine. I disagree with it, but that's fine. BK8 shouldn't be coming out and apologising. It should be Norwich City Football Club for this absolute disgrace and this deal. Norwich City want hundreds of thousands of fans, whatever, to buy these shirts. When that is the message behind it, they're not going to get many shirt sales like that. Put it that way, and they've really shot themselves in the foot, as lots of journalists have said. They've scored the own goal essentially, and this is the worst thing Norwich City have done from a business side, and not a good start to the transfer window. Put it that way. We've pretty much sold Buendia. That's going to be announced in the next couple of days or so, and that makes a discussion point about Norwich's ambition or whether it's right. I'll get into that. But this from a business viewpoint is absolutely disgusting, and I think there'll be a lot of protests if Norwich City continue to go with this sponsor. I get it's a betting sponsor, and I get Norwich City need to do it, and I'm sure their eyes lit up at all this money. But when you go into a sponsorship, you're putting your brand, you're aligning those two brands, and when Norwich have done that, it's just absolutely embarrassing from Norwich. It really is, and it makes you think. It really does make you think, and particularly with an Olu in terms of Delia Smith, and some of their videos on their content is girls who are sexualized, eating food in those kind of ways, and it's just an absolute mess. And from Norwich, that there's no winning from this. If they did the checks, why did they go and approve this? And by the sounds of it, they didn't do the checks. How did they let this deal happen? Really poor from Norwich, embarrassing. A lot of Norwich City fans are going to be disappointed with the Emi Buendia sale. I can see both sides of the coin, but for this, there's one clear side of the coin for me, and that is Norwich City hang your heads in shame, because it's quite disgusting, and a really backwards move from Norwich. And Norwich want to frame that they're a community club and a family club, and a lot of clubs can't really sometimes afford to have those family values, particularly in business, particularly some of the top clubs. But if Norwich City want that community and family vibe, which is their whole ethos in terms of having Delia, you can't put your name to that kind of stuff. And they've really shot themselves in the foot, and this could have some severe consequences in terms of their finances going forward, because they may have to withdraw from the deal. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Subscribe to Norwich City Central if you're new. Let's hope for some more positive news. Let's hope for some, what are we going to get in 35 million for Emi Buendia? Let's hope for a few good signings to strengthen the squad. And let's hope for some good stuff on the pitch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.